What's up everyone? I'm spending this whole week camping at Red River Gorge in Kentucky. I have a lot planned for this week. I'm gonna go bouldering outside for my first time, which should be interesting. I'm gonna hike to a bunch of arches. I have a couple fun paddleboarding trips planned, and I'm gonna kayak underground, which I'm excited about too. And then I'm gonna mountain bike on the way back. And I actually stopped at Cumberland Gap National Historic Park on the way here to see Sand Cave and White Rock Overlook. And I ended up getting rained on a lot. I hope this captures how absolutely massive this cave is. So I started the day way in the valley. I would stay and hang out up here for a while, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna start raining really soon. So I'm actually going bouldering outside for the first time this week, and I'm hoping all the grips are like this, like big and seemingly easy to hold. So I'm staying at Whittleton Campground in Natural Bridge State Resort Park. It seems like a pretty basic campsite. So you can see my cars behind me. There's a picnic table here. There's a fire ring right in front of it, and then I set up my tent over there. This loop I think has like 15 sites maybe, and they're all tents, and then there's a row of RVs down that way. My site in particular doesn't have a ton of trees. There's like trees surrounding it, but none close by. So I actually set up my hammock up in the woods there. So this campground actually has 2 trails off of it, which I love it when campgrounds have trails right off of them. I don't have to drive anywhere or anything. There's Hanson's Arch, I believe, and Whittleton Arch. So I probably will do one of those tonight, because I think Hanson's, or Henson's, one of the two. I think that one's not very far, so I'll probably have dinner and then go do that. Alright, I lied. I snacked because I was really hungry when I got to camp. So I'm gonna do this hike first, and then I'll come back and eat dinner. It's less than a mile. And it's Henson's Arch, but I'm going to Hanson's Point later this week. And then there's the top of the hole that I just looked up through. I guess that bit there where I was just standing is considered the arch. And it is kind of an arch shape, but typically arches are like, you could walk through them. There's like a hole all the way through. So I have summer rolls for dinner tonight. They have mango, strawberry, kiwi, and cherries, and then I have a honey lime dressing. So I only made summer rolls for the first time last week, and you'd think they just roll just like a burrito, and they kind of do, but it's way more difficult. So presentation and all that still questionable, but they tasted good last time. I did have an issue with them falling apart when I like made them for dinner one night. I went to have them for lunch the next day. I made these this morning before I left, so hopefully they're still on one piece. We'll see. Alright, it seems like that held up better than the last ones. Hopefully they don't stick together. That one's stuck and kind of ripped apart. Now there's a million flies. Just juice there. Yeah, so they kind of held up. But good though. So I got a bit later start than I wanted to this morning for two reasons. The first is that, so for the past week, I haven't been getting enough sleep and I've just been really tired. I was really looking forward to getting a full night's sleep finally. And then there was a big thunderstorm from 11 to 12:30 or 1 last night. So then I just decided to sleep in later. Also, the second reason, which is also related, is that I was going to try and climb outside for the first time this morning, but everything's still really wet. So had to switch up the plans a little bit. I'm doing the trails I was going to do this afternoon this morning, and then I'm hoping that by this afternoon, the rocks will dry out. So I guess we'll see. There are about 1 million bugs out here. So that was a fun hike, got to see some cool rock formations. I stopped at my campsite, had a snack, and now I'm at the visitor center area of Natural Bridge State Park, State Resort Park. So I'm technically camping at the state park, but it's a 5-minute drive from the campground to the visitor center area. I'm here because online it said, it mentioned things to do, and one of them was take a cave tour, but it didn't say anything else where to go, how much it is, when the hours are. And I was wandering around yesterday looking for where you're supposed to check in for camping. It's at the campsite, not here. But I found a building that said something about cave tour, so I'm gonna go back to that building and see if they can give me some more information. According to the website, that building should have been open till 6 yesterday, but I got here around 4:30 or 5 and they were already closed. So we'll see if they're even open. I don't know. I'm gonna try and go on a cave tour. We'll see how well it works. So the building I thought the cave tours would start at is literally just a room with some displays. So still on the hunt for the cave tours. Alright, so I finally found someone who knew something about the cave tour. Today is Monday. They told me the next cave tour is on Saturday. They're oh yeah, we only usually do it on weekends. If you would have called ahead, we might have been able to schedule one for you. But there's nothing on their website that says this is something that happens on weekends, or call to schedule, or nothing. It just says, under things to do, take a cave tour. I feel that's valuable information they should have put on the website. But now you know, if you come here and want to do a cave tour, either plan to come on a weekend or call ahead. So I guess my plan now is to go try to climb, see how this goes. The puddle at the park being not pull off is a bunch of tadpoles. That's pretty cool. I'm sure I look absolutely ridiculous videotaping a puddle. Alright, so I'm running into a problem that I kind of figured I might have. Most of the boulders on Mountain Project don't have pictures. So this is a giant boulder. I'm sure there are multiple routes on it, but I don't know where they are, what grades, which grades don't really matter. I climb a V1 at a gym. Probably not gonna be able to actually climb anything outdoors. I mean, I'm pretty much just out to have fun, but I don't know where to start. Alright, so I've been walking around for a half hour. I'm back at the one boulder I first showed you guys. At least I assume it's a boulder. I don't know what's actually here. I've came to two conclusions. Next time I go bouldering somewhere for the first time, I need to get an actual guidebook and not rely on Mountain Projects, because it has all the boulders listed, but it's still very hard to find them. And the other is that it's very tiring walking around with 2 crash pads on your back, especially when the trail is like really skinny and the crash pads keep like hitting on the trees. It's really steep and slippery here, so I haven't done any climbing yet, but not for a half hour, but it's still been an adventure. So that boulder I've been talking about, this is the other side, like 90 degrees, and I actually found this on Mountain Project, so I know that this in fact has 3 roots on it. I'm fairly certain at some point I'm gonna fall due to sticking my fingers in these holes and a spider's gonna crawl out on them. So the thought process was, so every winter I get into climbing, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna stick with it this year. And then spring and summer come around and it's nice out and I don't want to spend my time in the gym, I want to spend it outside doing things. So I was like, alright, logically, I'll just climb outside. That way I stick with climbing, but I still spend time outside. And I figured I could just, what I lack in strength and skills, I could just make up outside. But it would seem that's not the case. I mean, I'm sure I could work at it, but I have a long way to go. I have no idea where the footholds are on this. Like, I don't even know where to start. Keep getting bit by bugs. Like, I didn't expect to actually complete anything today, but I thought I'd be at least able to get onto a boulder, which technically I did, just not for very long. But yeah, it's possible I might need some more gym practice. Also, the hard part about that is currently the closest gym to me is like a solid hour and a half away. They're building a new one that I think will only be like a half hour, 45 minutes, but still, it's not like it's right down the road. I don't know if I should keep attempting this or if I should go try and find another one. I did find out when I was looking at the app, based on the description of the location of this, I went on the wrong trail looking for more boulders. I should have gone that way when I actually went that way. So that was an interesting experience. I think I'm gonna head out and go find another hike. So this is Rock Bridge Trail. There should be Creation Falls somewhere along it. It looks like it's a pretty popular trailhead. There's a lot of cars there. It seems like most people are leaving. I'm sure there's still many more people out on the trail. I did not get the memo, but apparently this is also a swimming hole based on the amount of people in their swimsuits. So it's only 8:30ish. I did decide to get in my tent because it is starting to rain. I don't know if you can hear that or not. And I can also hear thunder off in the distance. I'm really hoping not to get another thunderstorm tonight. It's still pretty far away, and I'm hoping it continues to go the other way or something. So another thunderstorm last night, another slightly late start, but I think it's gonna pay off. When I got up, it was still like rainy and kind of foggy and just not clear, but now the sun just came up a bit more and it looks like it's cleared up. So the overlook that I'm gonna hit, I think on the way out, I should actually be able to like have a clear view. This morning I'm doing a semi-long hike. I think I'm gonna hit Double Arch, Courthouse Rock, maybe one other thing. And then I have a paddle planned for this afternoon. So it's starting to rain again. I thought this would be a good time to mention I checked the weather the past 2 days, and both days it said no rain. So that's why it's called Double Arch. You can see there's this main arch and then there's actually another gap right up there. So as you can see, I'm not at the lake to go paddling. It's a bit later than I wanted to leave because it is a little bit of a drive. So I came back to have lunch because I'm starving. And I'll probably go do some like little hikes this afternoon. When I first left the trailhead, I could consider going swimming at the state park like 5 minutes down the road. But now that I stopped moving, it's not that hot out. So I'm at another trailhead now. This one has Princess Arch and Chimney Top Trail, and then just down the road is, I believe it's Half Moon Arch. All three of these together are just like 2.5 miles. So I'll go explore these 3 little trails now. I remembered why I don't do short trails. There's way too many people here for me. I don't like short trails, like this was less than a 1/4 mile I think to the actual arch, because there's just a million people trying to get a picture, which I would like to too, but I feel like I'm getting in the way. Like, I don't know. It feels different for a family to get together and take a picture together in front of a cool feature than it does for me to like set up my GoPro. Like, it feels like it takes longer, which I don't think it actually does, but it feels more like wannabe influencer type of thing versus like a family memory, which isn't really valid. I mean, I wouldn't judge someone else if they were trying to take a picture of themselves, but I don't know. I feel like if there's a long line of families and then it's just me, I'm more likely to try and just see a picture of the feature than trying to get a shot of me with the feature. And I've seen other features that were just as cool, that had a little bit longer of a hike, that had way less people, and I just don't like crowds as a whole, like whether I'm hiking or not. Just not a crowd person. So that was Princess Arch. This is Chimney Top Trail, which according to Ultras is only like 0.3 of a mile, but that sign back there just said to the overlook was 1 1/4, and I assume that's one way, which is still a pretty short trail, but longer than I was expecting. I'd be alright with it if it was a little bit longer. I'm not in love with this paved walking trail. I like dirt. Well, I like rocks. I prefer dirt because it's a lot softer on your joints, which I'm not running right now, so it's not a big deal. I like rock too, even though it's not soft. I just like the challenge of it, but this isn't soft, there's no challenge to it. Not a fan. I think these are grapevines on the edge of the trail. So this one is Half Moon Arch, and it's not the same trailhead. The trailhead's like a half mile up the road, but this trailhead, instead of having a parking lot, just has some pull-offs on the side of the road, and I'm the only one here right now, so hopefully it won't be as crowded as the other ones. The Chimney Top Trail wasn't that bad either. I only ran into a few people. So I think that point there is the Chimney Top Trail that I just did, which means the ridge I'm walking along now is what I was looking at. I think I was actually supposed to go down there. Maybe not. Alright, so I'm not actually sure on that one. According to All Trails, this is basically the end. It just goes a little bit further, but I can't see where the trail goes from here. It looks like it drops down a bit that I could probably get down, but I don't know if I could get back up by myself. But then it gets really skinny and there's like a rock that juts up, and I don't know how I could get around it. There looks like there's a trail like on the lower side, like this side next to it. I don't know how you get down to that trail either. I don't see anything along here. See, like down there, that looks like it's the trail. I just don't know, I didn't see a place where you would get down to there. So I got the All Trails like reviews to load for this trail, and that part that I was talking about that seemed like I don't know how you do it, that is the trail. Multiple other people said either they turned back where I did, or some people did it, but they said it's like really treacherous. It's a very technical scramble. Some people said like only do it if you have equipment. If I had had someone else here, I may have tried it, but by myself it wasn't worth the risk. So this is the trail to Whittleton Arch. It's right off of the Whittleton campground. So if you watched my last camping video, you know I had made somewhat of a mango sticky rice. I remembered I had a backpacking meal once. It was like mango sticky rice. So I got some dehydrated mango, or freeze-dried mango, and I put it in, so I'm gonna cook them together. So it's gonna be like a dumbed down version of the backpacking mango sticky rice, which is already a dumbed down version of the original. So this is either gonna be a really good idea or a really bad idea, and we'll see when it happens. I prepared basically mango rice, and then I didn't end up eating it because I went home early. But that's what I'm trying now, so we'll see how it goes. Probably help if I put the lid on. I think it's finally given up. Take 2. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. The bits with the mango is good, but the rest of it's kind of flavorless. Like, it needs some sort of sauce or something. Also, the mango is way hotter than the rice. Good morning. Didn't have any thunderstorms last night, which is very nice. Did have people in the campground playing music late, which I get. I usually get up before most people do, at least car camping. So I usually go to bed before most car campers. So no thunderstorms, but still not a ton of sleep. But I am at Grayson Lake now, gonna do some paddling. On the hunt for some waterfalls, there's one really well-known one, and then there should be a couple others. But there's not like a lot of clear maps on how to get to them, so we're gonna try and find them. I think I have a rough idea of where one of them is.
Dick Collins Fire Trails, and here is my point. Well, here's my story, and then I'll make my point. You could have a drop bag at the turnaround point at mile 25, and by the time I got to mile 25, where my drop bag is, I was not having a good day. I was frustrated. I was not. It was a hard day. It was a miserable day, Don. And the only thing I kept thinking is oh, I have this
Alright, so this afternoon I'm gonna do some more hiking. I'm currently at the trailhead for Indian Staircase, and I think it's pronounced Adina Arch. Based on the reviews, it's not a very long trail, but it's not well marked, and it's fairly technical, like it's a unmarked scramble. So we'll see if I can find the trail and if I can do it. Yes, I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to finish this one or not, but at least try it out. I don't know how much I trust arrows with the word good carved into rocks. So looking at the trail map on All Trails, I think that's actually like the return path that people made. It's not a official trail, it's just how people were getting back down to make it a loop instead of a longer out and back. I'm assuming this is the beginning of the technical scramble. I doubt the GoPro picks it up, but it's quite steep, very, very muddy. I'm guessing it's up through there. Let me take my map out and look. Alright, it would seem so. The first sign we're on the right path would be Trinity Arch, which there's no picture, there's just a point on the map. So I guess we'll look for an arch. I think the trail goes this way. Wow. Alright, so according to all trails, it's up this way. Not too sure about this one. Alright, so this is another one. If I had my mountain goat of a boyfriend with me, I'd feel comfortable trying it, but by myself I don't. So coming the way I first came, I got up the piece I just couldn't get up. And now I don't understand where to go from here. I suppose it might be this. Those are some big gaps for feet. Alright, fear of heights is kicking in. Like I said, if I had my mountain goat boyfriend with me to help out, it'd be alright, but I don't feel confident trying this by myself. So the views from this point will have to be enough. So I'm at another trailhead right down the road. It's an unofficial trail, so it's unmarked. Maybe also kind of hard to follow, but it shouldn't be technical, and we should get to see a waterfall. So it is an unofficial, unmarked trail, but so far it's pretty easy to follow. Hopefully this dry creek bed doesn't mean that the waterfall's dry too. So the trail does get a little less clear as it goes on with some like offshoots and stuff. But I figure as long as I follow the creek, I'll be alright. I have at least 3 meals I could make in the car, but 1, I don't feel like cooking right now. 2, I don't really feel like hot food either, just because it is warm and I've been sweating all day. So granola for dinner it is. Alright, so I'm at the trailhead for my last big hike of this camping trip. I'll do some more small ones this afternoon. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to do some underground kayaking right down the road from my campsite, and then I'll mountain bike on the way home. So for this hike, I'm going to hit Gray's Arch and Hanson's Point, which is supposed to be like a really nice overlook. But to get from one to the other, you start up high, go down in a valley, up over a ridge, down another valley, and then back up. So the middle of this hike is probably going to be really tiring. So 2 things to start with. The first being, I didn't realize my shoes are still absolutely soaked from the creek walk last night. 2, I got here right around 8 this morning. I was the first one in the parking lot. But between the time I pulled in and like actually got my stuff together and started hiking, 2 other cars have pulled in. Third thing, this trail also has a ton of bugs. So when I originally booked this camping trip, I booked it till today, Thursday. So the paper on my site says that I'm checking out today. But I went back probably 2 weeks ago and booked another night at the same exact campsite so that I'm staying through Friday. So I'm hoping when I get back there's not like an angry note because I didn't check out. So like according to that, I'm supposed to check out by 1 today. And I don't know if I'll make it back to the site by 1 or not. But I figured it's fine since I booked the same campsite. But I haven't been able to find anyone like at the little kiosk there to explain the situation. I checked multiple times throughout the week. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully there's no angry notes or anything at my campsite when I get back. I have a fairly unique last name, so they should be able to figure out that I also booked it for tonight. So there's not a great place to get like an overarching view, but we're in Gray's Arch now. Alright, so I'm about to do my last real hiking of this camping trip. I'm at Natural Bridge State Resort Park, but not at my campsite. I'm like 5 minutes down the road where like the lodge and the cottages and the pool are. And then when I'm done, I might check out the pool. So if you stay in either the cottages or the lodge, which is basically a motel, the pool is free. But if you stay at the campsite, then it's $4 for an adult. So if it's hot, I might check that out. I just don't want to pay for it and then have it be like a really cold pool or something. Like, not have it be worth it. So that's Balanced Rock. There's the bridge. I think you can get up to the top somehow. was all right. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was warm, but it wasn't exactly cold either. It was nice to cool off in for a little while. It would have been nicer if it was not in the afternoon shade. It would have felt warmer longer had it been on the sun. But I was able to reach the park's free Wi-Fi from the pool. It wasn't a great signal, but I could message my boyfriend and check in with him. I don't know what it is with this place and nighttime thunderstorms, but I've spent 5 nights here. The first 2 nights there were a thunderstorm, and last night there were like 3. And there was one around 1:30, I'm gonna say one around 4, and like you could hear it moving away. The rain pretty much stopped, and then the rain got heavier again, and another thunderstorm came through. All 3 nights it said it was supposed to be clear. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to be always adventuring.